So, hello. Today I'm going to talk about a poem that is called Symphony in Yellow. In this poem, I found an atmosphere that I couldn't find anywhere else that describes peace, and we feel the peace in this poem. So this poem was written in 1889 by Oscar Wilde, and at this time, Oscar Wilde was interested in what we call the aesthetic movement. This aesthetic movement supported the aesthetic values more than social and political themes that were present in the society at this time. We could find this aesthetic movement in arts, poetry, painting, and music, and other arts. So I chose this poem because in this time of coronavirus, I was looking for peace, and I found back this peace while reading this poem, and I found descriptions, I found language devices that were describing an atmosphere of peace that I had been missing for too long. Yes. So this poem, I'm going to recite it. So here it is. Symphony in Yellow. An omnibus across the bridge crawls like a yellow butterfly, and here and there a passerby shows like a little restless midge. Big barges full of yellow hay are moored against a shadowy wharf, and like a yellow silken scarf, the thick fog hangs along the quay. The yellow leaves begin to fade and flutter from the temple elms, and at my feet the pilgrim Thames lies like a rod of rippled jade. So why did I choose to perform this poem this way? Well, so I chose to perform this poem this way with a slow and fast movements, like switching from low to high tone, because this poem describes moving things that with different attitudes, just like the omnibus and the butterfly, and the leaves and the barges, the leaves and the barges. But I also performed it this way because a symphony is unpredictable, and like peace is unpredictable. And so this poem is a symphony, and the symphony is light. It's a music, but a music, we can't really predict the music. It has a particular rhythm. And this poem, it's the same thing. We can't predict it. Yes, so that's why I chose to perform it this way. And finally, what does the poem create its meaning? Well, the poem creates its meaning because we feel the symphony even while reading it in our heads. We hear the movement of the autumn leaves swirling through the wind. We hear the omnibus light as a butterfly, but also because we see the color yellow. And we can perfectly imagine the situation. We see the barges, the yellow hay, we see the quay, the poem creates peace by describing a landscape where things are happening, but that stays silent, quiet in our head. And the poem, light and beautiful as a symphony, presents through the lines a peaceful atmosphere. Also, I wanted to add that the color yellow perhaps represents joy, and so this poem could signify the beginning of a new season, for example summer or autumn because of the leaves, or spring, but it could also represent something that marks an emotion, something that describes an emotion with the color yellow. It could be joy, it could be the sun, it could be a sunny day. Well, we can imagine loads of things with this poem, but this poem, I felt this emotion while reading this poem because I felt the peace throughout this poem. I felt the landscape. I saw the landscape and the yellow hay and the yellow leaves and the butterfly, like, and the omnibus like a butterfly. And that's what I'm looking for in a poem. I'm looking for feeling. I'm looking for emotions. I can see things and I can hear it in my head when I'm reading a poem. Yes, so that's basically why I chose this poem, and I'm really happy with it. Yeah. So thank you for listening, and that was my Jacob for Symphony in Yellow.